Is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him make it I like down in a green pasture. Him lead I beside still water them. Him restore it I soul. Him lead I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Do I Rasta? I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Who prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Who anointed I head with no oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah kedemawe. How ma uso bolisa adanu wato e wasikle afo. Watanyu mo oh you all adon. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral and never claim to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the whole family in all its entirety. That is what we do here. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, all and sundry, and we tease out the creme de la creme of all these ideas after subjecting these ideas to some crucial forensic scrutiny. My brother, my sister, we use the findings for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember, we are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram, also on X, formerly called Twitter. We are also on TikTok, where we keep ticking and talking with the hands of patriotism. Take a walk with me. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. I am most excited to be with you. And today we have some really wonderful stories to share with you. It's been a very beautiful weekend. How did your weekend go? Please do me a favor. If you have not as yet subscribed to this channel yet, please do that. It takes only 1 second. Hit on the subscription button and then also on the notification button, so that anytime we are on, you will be reminded to watch. Please share the broadcast as well and recommend us to family and friends. This is where the truth lives. If you are looking for the address of the truth, this is the address. We are called the Black Empire Media, and the show is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Without much ado, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. If you have any story you want us to follow up on, we are more than happy to assess it and take a decision to follow up on such a story. We shall always keep you anonymous unless otherwise told to us by you to do the other way around. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. You can also pick up the numbers and do business with us. Your business will be big on this platform. It's the biggest platform for Pan-Africanism, patriotism, and of course, current affairs. I'm most excited to be with you. The name, Blakk Rasta. Without much ado, let's go straight into today's caboodle. Story number 1. Watch this, my youth. I rejected running mate from Kennedy Agyapong. And this is Nitiwul. Dominic Nitiwul. How many of us know who Dominic Nitiwul is? In the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, he was the Minister of Defense. In fact, the longest serving Minister of Defense in the history of this country in contemporary times. To those who still do not get the clue, this was the man who was reported to have said that there was the need to buy a new aircraft for Ghana, a private jet, big enough so that the president would be well accommodated, so he could even have a shower before going into meetings on arrival. My brother, my sister, recently he came out and said he never said that. He was misquoted. There was a big backlash. A country that was struggling to make ends meet. A country that was still on the beneficiary list of donors around the world was looking for a private jet for a president, and not an ordinary private jet. A big enough private jet that had all the luxuries of modern day private jets. The backlash was terrible. Recently, Dominic Nitiwul came out to tell us it wasn't true. He was one of the ministers that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, trusted. So he put him in charge of defense. And it was huge. One of the people who allegedly was not too happy about Nitiwul being the defense minister was Kennedy Agyapong. And Kennedy Agyapong, we are told, made it clear that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as reported, was appointing Nordness and too many of them. And he had the penchant of using and refusing and dumping Nordness. It was something that was in the media. Today, my brother, my sister, over the weekend, there was big trouble. What was the trouble? Kennedy Agyapong said he was going to release a video. And that video captured Dominic Nitiwul doing tribal politics, telling his kingsmen in Kokomba, Bimbila, Saboba, and the rest of the areas not to vote for Kennedy Agyapong, because Kennedy Agyapong was a tribal bigot who did not have any respect for the Kokomba people and the people of the north. My brother, my sister, it became big news. But of course, we were the first to reveal the contents of that video even before it came out. So it looked like, yes, people talked about it, but they already knew what was contained in the video. Dominic Nitiwul made it clear that that video was done in 2023. And that it was in response to what Kennedy Agyapong had said about Nordness being over-appointed into the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government and singling Dominic Nitiwul out for criticism as the Minister of Defense. My brother, my sister, Dominic Nitiwul has spoken. Come here. Now, over the weekend, I placed a call straight to Dominic Nitiwul. And I wanted to find out if there was something special about being in the Bawumia camp and going around campaigning for Bawumia. And he made it point blank why he decided to support Bawumia. That is not so much of a problem. But I asked him again, is there a big problem between you and Kennedy Agyapong? What really is the problem? Because it looks like Kennedy Agyapong is not happy with you. And Dominic Nitiwul told me point blank. Again, he didn't allow any recording. So we did not record. We wrote down points. What did he say? Dominic Nitiwul said, in fact, when Kennedy Agyapong laid hands on the tape, and we know who gave the tape to Kennedy Agyapong, He called me straight away and told me, Nitiwul, I thought you were my very good friend. How could you go out there and say these things about me? And according to Nitiwul, he told Kennedy Agyapong, what tape are you talking about? And when he told him what it was that was heard on the tape, he said, but this was 2023. And I said that in response to your vitriol against Nordness. So what did I do wrong? So Kennedy knew that the tape was actually coming from 2023. But does that justify what Nitiwul said? We've made it clear. We don't support any form of tribal politics. Nitiwul could have said it in another way. How could he have said it? Kennedy Agyapong is out there campaigning against Nordness. It looks like he does not really like Nordness and some other ethnic groups. But whatever it is, this kind of politics must be condemned. If you become president one day, how are you going to have the welfare of the people, the Nordness that you don't like, at heart? He could have said the same thing without telling the people of Kokomba and the North not to vote for Kennedy Agyapong. My brother, my sister, this is where the story is. But there is something bigger. Come here. Watch this. Now Nitiwul said Kennedy Agyapong has been trying to woo him to his side. He has made a lot of promises to him, but he has realized that Kennedy Agyapong is not a presidential material. Number one, Kennedy Agyapong told me that he was going to give me a rice meal. He promised me that because I am a rice farmer, he would give me a rice meal. He even asked me to come over and he would give that rice meal to me. And we all know what the rice meal is, my brother, my sister. This is what the rice meal does. It dehusks rice, it cleans it up, and it does so much in preparation for consumption. My brother, my sister, Kennedy Agyapong promised Dominic Nitiwul a rice meal if only he would come and follow him. And Nitiwul said, no, I don't think that I want to follow you. You are not a good enough presidential material for me. Kennedy Agyapong did not end there. He came back again. And according to Nitiwul, promised him that he would make him his running mate. And Nitiwul said he looked at this and said, no, nothing from you, Kennedy Agyapong, is enough for me to abandon whatever support I have for Bawumia to come and follow you. You have demonstrated in the past that you are not somebody who can unify people. You are a man who is so divisive. You are a man who cannot ever be steadied. In other words, you are a man that can say this today and tomorrow you are saying another thing. You are very, very, very unpredictable. So I can't follow you. My brother, my sister, these are the words of Dominic Nitiwul. Did Kennedy Agyapong actually promise him a running mate position? Did he promise to give him a rice meal? Did Nitiwul just say this for nothing? According to Nitiwul, the only thing he has is his integrity. And Kennedy Agyapong knows that. But for a man to tell him, I'll give you a rice meal, I will make you my running mate, it looks like you are trying to buy me. And for that matter, it is a wrong step even towards the presidency. I see it as bribery and corruption. My brother, my sister, Dominic Nitiwul, come here. He has served Ghana in the position of the first minister as the longest in that capacity. And in his reign, it looked like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo loved him so much, and therefore he gave him a lot of room to operate. Controversial as it might be about the procurement of that private jet, that never was, he still remained steadfast in whatever he was doing. And at least he was able to steer the country away from terrorism and all those attacks that were so rife in the South region. My brother, my sister, would Dominic Nitiwul have been a good running mate for Kennedy Agyapong? Did Kennedy Agyapong promise him that position after all? How about the rice mill? It's the Blakk pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Come here. Story number 2. Watch this, my youths. 2 ministers who chose sex over Ghana mission. My brother, my sister, this is a very interesting story. Somewhere in the year 2020, there was a minister of defense and national security. Listen, defense and national security, it means the security of the whole nation, was put on his lap, like the golden stool was put on the laps of Osetutu the First. He was supposed to foresee the whole nation's security and defense. He was called Albert Kandapaa. Albert Kandapaa was born in March 1953. My brother, my sister, so that makes him 72 years young. He was a well-respected man. He spoke less, even though many said he was not qualified to be a defense minister because he had no clue about defense. He was trained as an accountant. That's it, finished. He himself was born in the Ashanti region. In fact, he went to school in Ghana and beyond, studying accounting, nothing else. All of a sudden, they gave him defense and security of a whole big nation like Ghana, formerly called the Gold Coast. He accepted it, and he seemed to be doing well. A lot of respect. Then boom, somewhere in 2020, he made a mockery of himself. What did he do? He was sent on an international mission, paid for by the poor taxpayer of Ghana. We gathered all the money and gave to him to travel outside the country on a Ghana mission internationally. And when he arrived, we saw some videos that came out. The videos broke our hearts. Instead of concentrating on the mission, he went out looking for sex. My brother, my sister, at that time he was well over 60 years. As to how he still had this groove and libido on is for discussion another day. Albert Kandapaa, a young lady supposedly called her, and you could hear her voice, called him, and they started to talk. He made a fool of our security and defense of this nation. The old man was so analog-minded. He was far torn apart from the digital world. He didn't know that he could be recorded. Maybe he trusted the young lady on the other side too much. So we saw him in this video with a young lady, probably young enough to be his granddaughter, ordering him to turn around. What are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing a pajamas. Oh, what is the make? What is the brand? Oh, and he kept walking around and showing himself posing in front of the camera. Oh my God. And the sad thing is that he was late for a meeting that Ghana had sent him on. He wanted to get his libido in action. Sad still, he told the young lady on the other side, the other day you gave me a hug. You saw how I slept like a baby. Please, I'm waiting for that hug again. I wouldn't have had any problem with a man his age who wants to flaunt his libido. But the problem is that he was on a Ghana mission, paid for by the Ghanaian taxpayer. Come here. Watch the video. It is only 2 minutes. And listen to what ensued between Kandapa and the young lady. Kandapa who threw away the Ghana mission and latched on to his libidinous escapade. Watch this.
And come back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
You are
okay.
leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
So you'll be in Europe for how many days again? I
After
can see your
about 2
face.
Because you've decided to take it off your screen.
Oh,
Up
okay.
to Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, okay. 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 What are you gonna are you gonna miss me when you're on the flight?
Of course I am.
Okay.
Of course.
What
Of course.
what are you wearing now? Let me see.
I'm in the pajamas.
I only see your pajamas. I want to see the front, the back, like the way you did it yesterday with that suit. That was nice. Nice pajamas. Turn around, let me see it. Is it trouser or shorts?
Trouser.
Let me see the length. Raise your leg. I can see. Oh, okay, I see. Nice. Wow. What brand is that?
It's Thursday, my dear.
Oh, okay, it's nice. Wow. You have good taste. Yeah. Yeah, I see.
How much I wish I could have hugged you.
Aww.
I did that day and it was so nice. It put me to sleep immediately.
A hug from you put you to sleep, eh?
The last time you did to me, didn't it put me to sleep?
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Straight. It put you straight to sleep. What are you drinking?
Water.
Water. Okay. Okay. So, what's the time there?
9:24.
And what time is your meeting?
I'm going down at 10. I'm going to the bath now
Okay.
to have a bath with you.
Okay.
We're going to bath together.
Ish. Okay. That would be some serious bath. When you finish bathing, when you finish dressing up, are you going to call me for me to see what you're wearing? So I approve it.
Great. I'll do
Okay.
that.
All right. So I'll be waiting, babes.
I love you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
My brother, my sister, the defense and security of the nation at that point was thrown to the dogs. He was videoed. Sadly, it could happen to anyone. My problem is, on a Ghana mission, you are there asking for hugs, kisses, and taking a shower with a young lady. I wouldn't moralize it on him. But I'm sure when his wife saw this, she was brokenhearted with the 4 children sitting at home. This is a man who was so well respected. So when it came out like that, many were shocked. I'm sure he almost went into a certain form of depression. The president was called upon to do the needful. Sack Kandapa. But for a reason, the president himself decided not to sack Kandapa. He left Kandapa. A few months later, the president himself was caught on tape doing almost the same things that Kandapa was supposed to be sacked for with another woman called Sewa Bruni. My brother, my sister, what is this thing about the Ghana mission that all of a sudden becomes a sex mission? What is this thing about us that makes us never to be disciplined? Dash him away and come here. Now Kandapa is gone. He was minister until they lost power and he went away. My brother, my sister, number 2 is another guy called Richard Anani. Richard Anani's face became so synonymous with misbehavior, indiscipline, and carelessness. This guy here is a medical doctor. At the time that he got involved in this sex escapade, he had suspended practice. Now watch this. Richard Anani was born in Santasi, 1 year behind Kandapa. So he is 71 right now. My brother, my sister, he served as the Minister of Health under J.A. Kufuor. He also served as the Minister of Roads under the same government. In 2001, listen attentively, 24 years ago, I was a student who had just come into Accra, and I heard all over in the news, the radios were blaring, the newspapers were screaming the banner headlines that Richard Anani had done something bad. It caught the attention of everybody. 2001, he went to Washington on the taxpayers' ticket. Ghanaians gathered and paid for this guy to go there and represent the country on an HIV/AIDS summit. At the time, AIDS was so mystified. If there was one man who had AIDS in this house, the whole area would become empty, to be like a ghost town. That was what it was at the time in 2001. Richard Anani enplaned on the Ghana Airways, on the taxpayers' back, and flew all the way to Washington on the AIDS mission. And then a young American woman saw him talking so eloquently and walked over to him, introduced herself as Alexandra O'Brien. This is the young lady. And then they started talking. She said, I want to do a project on HIV/AIDS in your country, Ghana. Can you support me? Instantly, he looked at her face and scanned her down to her hips, and probably he started imagining how it will feel, elongating his tentacles into her house. What happened? They started talking, and one thing led to the other. The minister, who was on an HIV/AIDS mission, highly libidinous, ready for action, could not forget the hard-on he had when he first met Alexandra O'Brien. He lured her into his room, VVIP, sponsored by the people of Ghana, and gave her a sweet doggy style, hot and rough, the Kumasi style. She never forgot that doggy style. She came back for more. He instantly wrote a contract on behalf of the people of Ghana worth so much money, arbitrarily, with no recourse to Parliament, no recourse to the President of Ghana, no recourse to the people of Ghana, and handed it over like a dictator, like a lawless cassava state, to the young Alexandra O'Brien. My brother, my sister, he had to return to Ghana. I'm sure if he had his own way, he would extend the ticket so he could enjoy more goodies in the bosom of an American woman. When he flew back to Ghana, bam, the lady called and said, you know what? What we did in Washington, something happened. I'm pregnant. Come here! The young lady became pregnant. He said, hush, I am married with children. I am a minister. I traveled all the way to America on an HIV/AIDS mission. Please, if this thing comes out, I am dead. I know how Ghanaians are. Keep it between us. He started sending money to this woman to the tune of 126,000 American dollars and more. We shall go into the details soon. My brother, my sister, the lady kept the pregnancy. He promised the lady that he was going to marry her. Probably told her that he was single or divorced or nearly divorcing, whatever it was. My brother, my sister, what happened next? The baby was born. Sweet little boy. He said, oh, I'm a Christian. I would like to name him Nicholas, after Nicholas Duncan Williams. This is the photo of the child and mother. And Richard Anani was so excited that he had an Oyibo baby. Oh, my son, oh, my son, oh, my son. Anytime he called, according to Alexandra O'Brien, the little boy would run as he was growing up to the phone and say, Daddy Richard, Daddy Richard. He kept sending money. According to him, family members also sent money. One Osei Bonsu sent money to this woman, and one Kofi Ajenim Boateng, resident in Washington, sent so much money, tens of thousands of American dollars, 72,000 American dollars to this woman. Meanwhile, his own child, his own son, he sent only $5,000 in that period. How many understand this? Kofi Ajenim Boateng was a special assistant of Richard Anani, the sex champion. And you know what he did? He was sending money, according to journalists, money that was taken from Richard Anani, and you will soon get to understand why he did that, probably. The money was sent to the young lady through this guy and one Osei Bonsu. So Kofi Ajenim Boateng will wire the money to the young lady. And in that period, it amounted to 72,000 American dollars. Meanwhile, his own son, that he had almost abandoned, and child care people were chasing him, he had given only about $5,000. But somebody's mistress, he had been able to give up to 72,000 American dollars. My brother, my sister, Richard Anani, all of a sudden, Richard Anani stopped calling the woman. He revoked the contract because when he probably came to Ghana, President said, no, this is not tenable. If this goes to Parliament, they're going to throw it out because this is an American model which does not sit in Ghana. Richard, do the right thing. Meanwhile, Richard had promised the young lady that he was going to leave Ghana after leaving his family behind and his marriage to come and live with a young lady in the American city of Salt Lake, Utah, where doctors were paid so well. Salt Lake in Utah. So the young lady was full of excitement and hope, only for Richard to stop calling, and the contract was cancelled. It looked like her world had crumbled. Then she started to look for a journalist who could talk. Not knowing the journalist who could talk was also already looking for her. And they met. Who was this journalist? Come here! That journalist, my brother, my sister, is no other Raymond Archer. Raymond Archer at the time was working with the Chronicle, Ghana's biggest private newspaper. And when he listened to the lady and got the information, he put it out. Bam! And the whole Ghana started shaking. The Graphic also killed some aspects of the stories and published. Then Raymond Archer left the Chronicle and established his own Enquirer. And the story continued. The story was so heavy that he had to run all the way to Shraj. At that time, Emil Short had just moved out to continue his career in Rwanda. And there was one lady called Anna Bosman, 2004. The young Nicholas, named after Archbishop Duncan Williams, my brother, my sister, and the mother were left in oblivion. And they had to resort to the media. And Raymond Archer, the ace investigative journalist who had won the best journalist award in the whole sub-region, the youngest at the time, channeled this story through Shraj and met with Anna Bosman. A committee was set up immediately to investigate this. Hey, Kufuor was embarrassed to the core. The whole of the NPP embarrassed. Richard Anani kept denying. Then to one or two friends, it was just one, so he was singing Shaggy. It wasn't me. A medical doctor. And you know how the newspapers teased him? The health minister who went out without using condoms. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Ex-minister of health forgets to use condom. They teased him. Many more headlines came out. My brother, my sister, in the media. Dr. Anani questioned on womanizing, corruption, and poor performance. This was later. Dash it out. Come here. Now, Shiraj formed the committee, sat on this issue. Raymond Archer went there and gave all the facts that he had, including receipts. They invited the woman all the way from America, paid her in and out to come. You know what? Richard Anani used to make this woman fly using Ghana Airways, lying that the woman was his wife. There were those who collapsed Ghana Airways. Oh, this is my family. This is my brother. My uncle's brothers, sisters, nieces, uncle's younger brother. And before you could decipher, you would go crazy and stamp. Bah. My wife. There was a time she had a ticket to fly on Ghana Airways. Oh, good old Ghana Airways. And she couldn't make it to Ghana. You know what she did? She went to the Ghana Airways office, trying to sell back the ticket and take the money for her and her son, Nicholas. It was there that one of the most vigilant staff members saw the ticket and said, this is supposed to be a free ticket, which we issue to, this category of people, right? And it came out that the woman was denied any refund. All this got discussed at Shiraj. And Shiraj did everything possible to investigate it. At first, watch what happened. Richard Anani said that Shiraj did not have the capacity and the mandate, in fact, to investigate him. And he unleashed 6 lawyers on Siraj as if to intimidate Siraj. And a boss man said, lie. You can bring 100 lawyers. We will handle them. And they proved to Richard Anani that, hey, we can investigate you. When they did the investigation, they brought out a whole expose. I'm going to take you through this in just 2 minutes and we are done. Flip it. This is from Siraj. After investigating Richard Anani and his sex capade on a Ghana mission. And look at it. This parts of it. In January and February 2025, and some time thereafter, the media, notably the Chronicle and the Daily Graphic, made various allegations of corruption and conflict of interest against Dr. Richard Anani, then minister designate for the post of Minister for Road Transport. That's after he left the health ministry. The media speculated about Honorable Dr. Richard Anani's relationship with one Alexandra O'Brien, also known as Alexandra Anani, an American who was believed to have entered into an agreement with the Ministry of Health to undertake an HIV/AIDS project in Ghana. The fallout of their relationship was alleged to have led to the project being aborted, thereby causing financial loss as well as missed opportunities to the nation. Some of the specific allegations contained in the media were as follows. 1. The Chronicle edition of Friday, January 28, 2025, 20 years ago, reported that Dr. Richard Anani, then minister designate, had denied the numerous transfers of $90,000 he did for the woman in the USA for her upkeep, but confessed giving her an amount of $10,000 and paying 51 million cedis for her accommodation. Dash it. It's a long thing, but I've taken my time to read through it and all that, so don't worry, man. My brother, my sister, anytime the lady came to Ghana, Richard Anani put her in 2 different hotels. Esther's Hotel. Do you know where Esther's Hotel is? This is the hotel. Hidden, quiet, so nobody would see. Look at the rooms. The American woman came with a child so that they would continue with the fun. Apart from this hotel, they were also at La Palm. Woo! All at the taxpayers' billing. You and I paid for this. Richard Anani denied everything. He said he only gave the woman 10,000. When they investigated him, they saw receipts to about at least 30,000 American dollars. He lied. This guy. He lied. And then his own friends and assistants loaded money on the woman. But he said, in fact, he didn't ask them to do that. They only did it on their own. At the time, he even told the woman, allegedly, that there was a certain kickback of 20,000 American dollars he was supposed to get from a contractor as a road minister. After getting the kickback, he will give the woman some. He denied it. He said the woman lied. When they investigated the whole story, they realized that Richard Anani had not been very truthful to them. Number 2, Richard Anani had abused his office as the health minister by signing contracts arbitrarily. That Richard Anani had not been truthful with the committee. And when his friends who were wiring money to the woman came in and they were asked, they tried to support him, but the committee found out that they also lied a lot and they couldn't trust any one of them. But they said they could trust the woman because everything she said was verified, even though the report said she was extra loquacious. As to what that word means, don't worry, man, we'll explain it. Come here. The report said the woman was extra loquacious. To break it down simply for your understanding, it means she was garrulous. She was a talkative. When they told her to talk for 5 minutes, she would talk for 50 minutes. Richard Anani was never punished in one way or the other. Ghana lost. Ghana suffered. So much money in his traveling left, right, and center. Those that could be proven and those that could not be proven. My brother, my sister, he was a sex champion, Richard Anani. And today, the little boy who was only a few months old when he was visiting the father, my brother, my sister, is now 24 years old. 23, 24. Richard Anani's wife, Mercy Anani, stood by the husband as the average African woman would do, so that when you go back home, she would fight you. My brother, my sister, this was what Richard Anani did on the taxpayers' mission. Today, we decided that we would bring you two ministers who betrayed Ghana, latched on to sexual pleasures whilst on a Ghana mission. Never again. And both of them, my brother, my sister, belong to the sexiest party, the NPP. I hate it when I have to politicize some of these things. It doesn't mean the NDC doesn't do that, or CPP doesn't do that. Maybe they have not been caught yet. My brother, my sister, health minister, minister of defense, very key positions. If you can't close your zip at least whilst on a Ghana mission, then who are you? A junglist? It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hey ya! Hey yo! Oh yo!
Blakk Pot, Coco Show, man.
Go on, Skipper George.
Blakk Pot, Coco Show, man.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. If you have not as yet subscribed to this channel yet, please hit on the notification button and also hit on the subscription button so that anytime we are on, you would be reminded to watch. It's simple. It takes just 1 second. Hit on the subscription button and also on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you will be reminded to watch. Please recommend us to family and friends. This is the address of the truth. If you are looking for the truth and you can't find, this is the address. We are called Black Empire Media and the show is called the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo. Recommend us to family and friends. We are one big family. It is the biggest show in Africa of patriotism and Pan-Africanism. Thank you so much for making us number one. Story number 3. Watch this, my youth. AKANDOH strikes hard again. Kwabena Minta AKANDOH is his name. And he is presently the Minister of Health. since he came into power. It's been one hard decision to the next hard decision. You could call that controversial. Whatever label you want to put on that. He comes all the way from Seshe, born in 1977. So that makes him 48 years, pushing on 49. He started politics so early. By the age of 25, he was already in very responsible political positions. We have never really heard about him in any controversy. This is AKANDOH. He's a farmer. And at the same time, he's a businessman. When John Dramani Mahama became president, he handpicked him and put him right inside the Ministry of Health and said, you know what, AKANDOH? I know you can do this work. Go there, no interference, hammer hard and make sure that our health system works. Mahama whispered into his ear the Latin saying, mens sano corpore sano. A sound mind is in a sound body. That means if the body is not well, there is nowhere in the world you can find a peace of mind. Mens sano corpore sano. He repeats this everywhere he goes. AKANDOH. My brother, my sister, when he came into power, the first major decision he took was to cancel light wave e-health contract. One Samson Jaba, a brother of Otiko Jaba, an all-time nemesis of John Dramani Mahama, had held on to this contract from the days of the NDC all the way to the days of the NPP. And he was expecting that back into the NDC, the contract would be withheld. It would be upheld. But AKANDOH came and looked at the contract and said there were deficiencies. And remember, we broadcast that here. He said some of the things promised in the contract were not fulfilled. For instance, laptops that were supposed to be delivered, the quality and brands of laptops, in fact, were not upheld. Lightwave decided not to do that, according to AKANDOH. According to him, they tried to negotiate, but it didn't work. Then the issue of bribery came in. And whilst we put out the story, awaiting more evidence, my brother, my sister, boom, AKANDOH has hit hard again. This time round, it looks like another contract is going to be cancelled. Which contract is this? The zipline contract. Zipline. This is zipline. What is the contract all about? Who signed this contract? Do you know? We all remember when Bawumia, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, told us about the prospects of this. Zipline is an American company, but they have a Ghanaian head here, and it's one Daniel Meki. He is the boss, the country manager of Zipline. This gentleman here, Daniel Meki. My brother, they were supposed to fly medicines to areas that need them. They were supposed to use this kind of drones. You fly to that area and drop it there. Health centers where people need this, emergency areas. My brother, my sister, and they have been doing this from 2018 when they started talking about this. But the contract itself took effect in 2019. Come here. The contract took effect in 2019, and Baumia was so happy to tell us about the zipline contract. My brother, my sister, the total sum of the contract was 279 million American dollars. $279 million American dollars. Do you want to hear what zipline was supposed to do again? Fly medicines, paracetamol, any kind of medicine that the people needed in different areas, fly them. And then when you fly over, you drop. We heard of stories where the medicines were thrown into jungles where nobody could go and pick them up. Then AKANDOH came to tell us that they ended up flying condoms. They also flew exercise books. Was it purposely for health products? Condoms I can understand. But exercise books and pencils? What disease would that treat? Maybe illiteracy. That's AKANDOH, as quoted by City. Zipline delivering condoms, mosquito nets, educational materials. Was this part of the contract? 279 million. That was the contractual sum. My brother, my sister, Zipline was able to establish 6 centers in the whole of Ghana. 6 centers. And those 6 centers, each one of them received 88,000 American dollars per month. Did you hear that? 88,000 American dollars a month. When you gather all this money, the annual computation for all these 6 centers, the money would be enough to buy between 6 and 10 helicopters. A higher version of the one that crashed and killed 8 of our glorious countrymen. My brother, if that money for the centers alone computed over a year could buy between 6 and 10 of these planes, why didn't we just buy helicopters to fly there and throw these things around? But maybe because of somebody's political expediency, they decided to let this contract run. My brother, my sister, AKANDOH is here. He says, no, sir. We have to look into this. We have to review the contract. It can't go like this. And it's news all over Ghana. Some are crying. This is AKANDOH saying government still engaged in zipline for value for money review. My brother, my sister. And all the time that zipline operated in this country, they were only able to supply to hard to reach areas only 12%. All the hard to reach areas within the catchment area is only 12% they were able to serve. Why? And as for emergency situations, according to AKANDOH, they were only able to supply 4%. Kai. Blakk RASTA, break it down so people would understand. I am saying, according to the report, hard to reach areas where cars might not be able to go there comfortably. If there are 100 of them, Zipline was able to provide 12. 88 of them, 0. 12%. Emergency cases, 100 of them, people are dying, blood is being poured. Zipline only provided 4 out of the 100, 4%. And AKANDOH looked at this and said, you know what? This contract must go down. Now the contract is supposed to expire in 2027, 2 years more. But AKANDOH says the future of Zipline contract hinges on ongoing talks. It might be abrogated right now after talking to the Attorney General, my very good friend, the Zwarungu boy, Dominic Akuretinga Ayine. Is AKANDOH doing the right thing? Is he saving Ghana money? Or is he running after his own whims and caprices? From where I sit, I think this is a very positive move. My brother, my sister, to be able to save the nation from some of these diabolical contracts. I am yet to speak with the country manager of Zipline, Daniel Murky. Trust me, we will do it and we'll bring you the second part of this story. In the interim, AKANDOH, I applaud you in the sense that from what we are hearing from you, if this is truly what is on the ground, I don't see why any patriot of the nation will go against this. But again, part 2 will be coming up pretty soon. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. When we return, we will take your messages, take our very last story, take your messages for the last time, and we are done. If you haven't as yet subscribe to this channel, please do that. 1 second, hit on the subscription button and also hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you'll be reminded to watch. Recommend us to family and friends. This is one big family. This is the address of the truth. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Hey ya, hey yo, wayo, come on.
Blakk Pot, Kukushonemo.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember my name, Black Rasta. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us, okay? And if you have a story you want us to follow up on, we are more than happy to do that, right? Your business will do so well on this channel. Oh my God. This is the channel of choice. It is the address of the truth. The Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Okay? So send your comments in now. Send them via Facebook. Let them also come via YouTube. We are happy to read your messages. And this is from Felix Kobla Fiabu. He says, good evening, Blakk. Watching you live from home. Keep up the good work you are doing for the country. Ras Oko Kofi Sunmoon says, greetings, Mr. Kukushu Muwa Fire King. Pamel GH says, Blakk, happy new month to you. And here we gather for the truth again with a new energy. All right? Don Ike says, you speak no truth. Those who know you know you. Okay, so you keep doing the propaganda. Those who know me truly know me. Okay? Mohammed Hamza says, good afternoon, Blakk Rasta. How are you doing, great man? We are always ready to listen to wisdom. At the same time, we are grateful for your time too. May Allah bless you abundantly. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, the Raymond, Raymond says, watching live from Wa, Godwin Nukpo Kukujo says, blessed new month to the entire Black Empire Media and the prophet of the house, Blakk Rasta, Theophilus Gold says, good evening, Blakk. I miss you for a few days now, but I'm back to team to eat the delicious meal from the Kukusho demon. Wayo. And Gabriel says, Don Ike, are you here watching him? I like that. If he speaks no truth, why are you here watching? Okay. Okay. Maybe he loves lies. So, say that, and Don Ike says, Gabriel say, I will even block this page now. Alaji Kabiru Bandado says, more fire, Blakk. May Allah guide you. Watching you live from Canada. Patao says, greetings, Blakk Rasta. Love to you, Patao. Kwame Kwashi says, come here. Wayo. Ras Oko Kofi Sunmoon says, come here. Watch this. Kwame Kwashi says, headquarters of truth. That's it. No two ways about that. Waves GA says, NPP is no... it's not known for, well. Foster Kofi says, continue doing the dirty work. It shall surely pay off. Okay, so that's Ras Oko replying to somebody. All right. And Ras Oko Kofi Sunmoon comes back to say, I support you with 300 cement bags. Wow. I support you with 300 bags of cement. Interesting. Bliss Abound says, welcome, Blakk. Time for some truth. Mohammed Prosper says, hey, Atopan. Kwame Kwashi says, only the truth will survive here. Okay? More comments coming in. Arafan Ramos Imoro says, Blakk, good outfits today. Welcome to the University of the Truth. The Blakk Pot. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu says, greetings, my guru. Up next, Ivy says, good afternoon from the Big Apple. Mustafa Mahama is laughing. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu says, keep on sharing the life, my people. Yes, keep sharing the life. Keep sharing the life. Okay? Let the life be hot. Okay? And we have Ras Okoye who says, what is it at your end? Sedem Kweku Agboso says, I thought those two ministers were in the current government and not knowing you are referring to Kandapai and Co. As for the NPP and Nana Ado Danko Akufo-Addo, the least said the better. Okay? Conscious Agbemenu also says, libido satisfaction. Mustafa Mahama is laughing. Bizu is laughing. Ha! The Atupan story is killing them. You know? Mustafa Mahama is laughing. And he says, like the way you did it yesterday. Eric Baron is laughing. Arafat Ramos Imoro is laughing. Mark Romeo Ofori says, my regards, Professor Blakk. Patrick Nate says, pajamas man. Shameless honey man. Truth to power. Jamilu Ibrahim says, oh, Charlie, these side chicks. Side chicks. Nkukwa nkite. Tairu Awudu Bako says, these small girls, they will put you into problems. Jeremiah Bazy Esiam is laughing. Majid Carlos says, very shameful. Mustafa Mahama says, you they order somebody's father around like he did class 3. Arafat Ramos Imoro says, Charlie, the brotherhood is very weak on this side. Ivy Lee says, old, what a shame. Mustafa Mahama says, disrespectful side chick, ordering your father's age mate like your little child. Okay? More comments coming in. Emmanuel Kwesi Klu says, man tire, Rasta, man tire, please spare him, okay? Majid Carlos says, somebody in grandpapa way they do am like this. Ras Oko Kofi Moon says, hey, women, if you do anyhow, them go strip you anyhow. Oh, the whole Minister of Defense, I believe, is smiling. Pamel GH, this old man won't rest. Daniel Adade is smiling and laughing. Hey. Ras Oko says, she didn't even respond. I love you too, to the minister. Jeremiah Bezi Esiam says, hey, Uncle Tapa. Abdul Majid Aruna says, Black Rasta, stubborn academy. Ghana. Musa Mahama is laughing. Sedem Kweku Agboso says, hey, the lady only needed money from the former minister. That was all. She didn't love the old man. St. Paul says, Kuku, show them. Love you, Black Rasta. I will love you too. Yeah. Musa is back. He says, HIV too come scare people. Oh, it's still scary though, my brother. Mustafa is smiling. And Arafat Ramos Imoro says, Kumasi doggy style. Determined Agamel says, the Kumasi style. Which style is from the Sogakope? Where are the Sogakope people? Mavis Ampia is smiling. It looks like a lot of people are loving the story, right? All right. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We are called Black Empire Media and my name Black Rasta. Remember, this is the address of the truth. Story number 4. Watch this, my youth. God warned me not to travel for 16 years. Prophet ELBERNARD Nelson Ishen. I've known this prophet for a long time now. He's called Prophet ELBERNARD Nelson Ishen. He's a prophet with integrity. I have never seen him caught in any big controversy. Unlike a lot of his peers, I respect him a lot. I spoke with him a couple of days ago, and he revealed to me in an interview why he stayed in Ghana for over 16 years, even though people were inviting him from all walks of life, from America, England, Italy, Japan, to come and minister. In fact, at his prime, he told me, Black Rasta, I was younger and hotter. I needed to be able to move around, to preach the word of God, and also make some money for my ministry. But God told me point blank, don't move. Stay in Ghana. At most Africa. Don't go beyond Africa. ELBERNARD will travel to Nigeria most of the time and return to Ghana. All the calls that came in for him to fly to the United States were turned down for 16 years. And he told me when the 16 years came and he went back to God to ask God if he could now travel, it looked like God even extended it by 2 more years. Let's listen to Prophet ELBERNARD Nelson Ishen, and when we return, we will close the show. Listen to him from his base all the way in America when we spoke a couple of days ago. Listen.
Wow. And when the CTN was up and I was going to travel, he said, don't go. So you cancel the appointment and I have to wait for 3 more years, being 19 years. After 19 years, this is the first time I've traveled to go and minister anywhere.
Jesus.
Outside Africa, yeah.
Wow. So it's always been inside Africa?
Inside Africa, yeah.
From 1996?
No, from 2006.
Oh, 2006. Yes. Okay.
The Lord told me 16 years I shouldn't travel. Yeah, so it now took me 19 years before He released me to now travel.
Wow, this is powerful.
Yes,
But how is it in America? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, everywhere we've gone to, the Lord have lifted up His hands, and I'm excited with how people are receiving the gospel, and also how people are now getting to understand the prophetic. Because there have been a lot of mistakes that has been made in the prophetic. So with the teaching on the subject of the prophetic and also demonstrating it everywhere we've been, it's been massive.
Prophet Bernard ELBERNARD Nelson Nation. He's one of the finest prophets of Africa. Everywhere he goes, he manifests the power of God. He was the one who prophesied that Kennedy Agyapong would be the next flag bearer of the NPP. And he told me one-on-one that Kennedy Agyapong would go on to become president. I don't want him to be, because I think that he is a tribal bigot. From long, he's been talking about tribes. Yes. When you meet these people, pick a stick, pick a dart, and hit them on the head. We all heard that. I don't want to repeat that. Nanado is using nordness and dumping them. Oh, Nanado has appointed too many nordness in there. Oh, we are the kings. The slaves, let them be. And all that. Slaves and kings and all about ethnicity. Again, as I said, the only time I probably will consider embracing Kennedy Agyapong again is when he apologizes for those unsavory remarks. His excuse is that other people are doing it, so he should also do it. Can we imagine this kind of president? Can you imagine? People are stealing, so me too, I will steal. But the others are doing it. Nobody's saying anything. Me too, I have to do it. Hey, Bossu. What kind of president are you going to be? Tit for tat president. Well, that is the guy that Bernard ELBERNARD Nelson says will be president. And that when he returns, he will tell us more. Other prophets have mentioned other people. Left to me alone, the NPP should stay in opposition for another 7 trillion years. They messed up the country. We don't want to hear about them. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. But remember, for 16 years, God told him don't travel. And when 16 years came, he went back to God, and God said, I've extended it by 3 years more. Stay in Africa. This is the first time he's outside Africa. And he says, there's a lot of misconception about the prophetic. And he's doing his best to be able to educate the people on the other side and manifest and demonstrate the power of the prophetic. We wish you all the best, and we hope that you return anytime soon to serve your motherland and also to work on your prophecies. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Time now to go. Let's take your final messages and we are out of here. Okay. Sweet Papito says, Amara RASTA suddenly speak truth to power. Hey, come here. Well, yo. Kelly Blakk says, welcome. I have missed your patriotic voice. Sweet Papito says, Kuchoko in the ghetto. Come here. And Kelly Blakk says, like and share the show. The man of truth is here. And we have TG and media. Say, Black Rasta, how far with the corruption scandals involving the former Akufo-Addo daughter, Jan Krumah? Any updates? Kindly. Well, to be honest with you, I haven't done any investigation into that. But I'll look into it. Yeah. The Sizzler says, black soldiers, gather here. Let's listen to wisdom. Speak. Emma Ba says, leadership in dignity And what Sadat Larry says, good evening, Black Rasta. And Emmanuel Ania says, good evening, Professor Black. Welcome. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Wani Boy says, good evening, my professor. Keep up the good work. Oy. Okay. More comments coming in. Send them via YouTube. They could also come via Facebook. Okay. JDSGH says, greetings, Black. We are live. Oy. TGN Media says, Black Empire Media is really an inspiration. Thank you. We love you. Emmanuel Ania says, hey, Black, you are the mother serpent of all information in this country and beyond. Bravo. Thank you. Salute of patriotism. Rap Thunder says, welcome, legendary Black. Emmanuel Ania says, I hope you got exclusives and interesting stories for us this week, Black, as usual. Ufori says, greetings, Black. Yawadubo says, good evening, my professor. More fire. Can call he says, fire. Yeah. Emmanuel. Sam Brown says, good evening, my brother. And Stephen Jackson says, woy. We are live in the first beautiful Monday of December. Good evening to you, Mr. Black Rasta, and keep preaching the good word. Ken Coley says, preach, the best teacher. Okay? We appreciate you. We love you. And what's that? Larry says, today, I don't want to say anything. I just want to listen to my teacher. And then Chris Ohene Asante says, I don't trust politicians. And then Seth Wedem says, greetings, Black Rasta. Ransford says, thought defense and national security are two separate ministerial positions. Kandapar was national security minister. Sadat Anwar Larry says, the youth builder. The speaker of truth will love you. Keep doing what you are doing, Black Rasta. Kelly Blacks says, Black Rasta, where do you get all this shocking and deep information from? That's my work. I'm supposed to go out and dig and bring you the information, right? That's what is in the Black Pot. I'm supposed to cook up the story. Make assumptions for you to enjoy. Just relax, yeah? Joseph Ayombisa says, Black Rasta, we love you more. Wilson Deglo says, this big man. Abna says, if it is today, Kandapar would say, if it was today, Kandapar would say, AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. Kojo Champon says, I thought you would update us on the settlement of the Boku conflict by the Asante Hene, which is happening or has happened today. Kudos, Black Rasta. So we will follow it up, no problem. So our contact lines are there. You can always let us know which stories you want us to follow up on. There are a lot of stories, yeah? Okay. Mohammed Banjaya says, welcome on board, soldiers. Greetings to the entire Blackport family. More fire, Mbiali. Come here. You think so you did wise. Dash it away. Why you signed MC Scorpion. Bright Smart says, a country called Ghana. Yeah, Odobo is laughing. Belinda Asio is also laughing. Okay. Belinda, how are you doing? Eric, you see,